What's up, guys, and welcome back for another Nomadic mining episode. So we got a few updates since the last episode. Managed to go ahead and get this character into an Orca, our quintessential van, as it were, and got her into Skiff, got her a Mackinac as well, and then an Endurance. So I essentially have a bunch of crystals in here and heavy water. And this Orca is actually set up for drone mining as well. So if there is systems where we want to take the Orca out and do a little drone mining, that'll be great. But we're going to do a few systems in this episode, 2 or maybe 3. Let's look at pirate strongholds. All right, we got one in a 0.5 near us. How far away was that? 4 jumps. Shouldn't be a problem. So the reason I went with an Orca instead of a porpoise is because I could just put them in the maintenance bay. The Endurance here is set up for ice, so if we ever get into ice, it also has scanning probes and stuff like that. She still needs some scanning skills, so probably won't be using that. We're in Basi, so we got like 38 people in local right now, so I think that for this system, we're going to go ahead and grab our prospect out here. I think like the idea here is that if we have, a system that's not super populated, we can use like the Skiff and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this system in the books, and then we'll move to the next system as well. Now this let's get out here to the belt and then get these lasers on. We'll go to the nearest asteroid belt just so we don't have to wait too long to get back to station here. But the idea, the Orca is actually set up with a 500 MN micro warp drive, and that's going to help us just getting off gates and things like that. Once we travel to the next system, I'll kind of show you kind of the process there. So let's see what we got here. We got a retriever out here, which is good. About 40 people. I don't care which rock we grab. I'm gonna go out here to this dense Veldspar. I'm gonna turn on my afterburner. I just want to get in range and get this cycle done. So the policy, or like I guess the SOP, is gonna be, let's go and cut that prop mod. Once we actually get this cycle done, we're ready to move systems, then all the ore will go into the Orca, and we'll kind of just hang out with it until we just need to undock and compress and whatnot. So I'm gonna keep an eye on local here. So Basi is a little bit of a rowdy system, but we're just gonna keep moving around here like this. It's a 0.8, so we could potentially get rats, but I'm not really concerned. The retriever is probably going to handle anything that we have problems with. One of my major focuses is doing multiple systems per episode. It's just so we don't run into like a crazy large playlist. Kind of getting through this, and now that we have the Orca, our van essentially, I'm going to try to start pushing away from major trade hubs and try to get some of the more remote high-sec systems and stuff. You can see the flow on this local is crazy. We're going like we're up plus minus like 5 to 10 every few seconds or so. And we don't really have any major cosmic signatures or anomalies. We got some scanner probes out there, so people are scanning that, and we got the retriever, which is on here with us. We have Kestrel, a lot of drones. There's another Orca on grid somewhere. Doesn't look like it's drone mining. Probably just boosting. But yeah. And we got a Skiff, Golem. So I just prefer to... and also the Skiff and the Mackinac, I believe, I have mining drones in them as well. So when we use those, we can actually... get a little bit extra M3 there. I'm only going to do one cycle here, and then we're going to move to the next system and get everything logged in the spreadsheet here. Just because I don't like being in high populated systems. It's just kind of how I like doing it. We're going to stop ship. Bring up my assets so I know which station we're going to. Alright, there we go. We can dock that, cut those. And by orbiting, that means that once I actually start warping, I'm far enough away from the rocks, I can just go ahead and get everything situated. Close that asset window. What we'll do is we'll dock up in here, we'll load the van, and then we'll go to the next system there. So we can go back over to our warp tab. Hopefully we don't have to turn around and pass through the station to get to the gate, but we'll attempt to use the micro warp drive. It works a lot better when you're going from gate to gate. We come out with a little bit of speed on the station, so don't really have to worry too much about that. Alright, wait for session change. Go and get back in here. And we just load everything back up. Get that in there. Go and throw our dense feldspar in. And then we'll undock. So the strategy here is essentially we're going to align and then turn on micro warp drive, turn it off, and then warp. Once the micro warp drive ends, then we'll be good to go. So align, turn on our micro warp drive. We'll go and turn on hardeners as well. Turn that off, and then hit jump. We're turning around basically, so it's not going to do one cycle. It's still going to be pretty long. That's why in stations, if you have to go in like an opposite direction, I usually do like 2 cycles on the 500 MN. When we get ready to go to the next station in the next system, then you'll see the true benefit here. But we're back up to 50 people here. But if like we came out like this, and we were not making almost a 90-degree turn to a gate, then it would have been a lot better. We would have gotten it in like 10 seconds, but just how that goes. And also I just usually keep my hardeners on when I'm doing this kind of stuff anyway. So it should be good to go. About 19 AU to that gate. I run the improved cloak on here as well, so we can do the micro warp drive cloak trick. But really the cloak is like if I want to take a break drone mining, then I can just suck drones, go cloak, step away from the computer for a few seconds, and then come back. Let's go at F10. See, we have about 16 people in the next system, so not nearly as bad as this. So once we actually get into the system, what I'll do is I'll select a station, probably whichever one is closest to this gate, and then we'll do align, micro warp drive, and dock, and then do our mining. I need to go ahead and log this in my spreadsheet. Alright, so that's good to go. Sabeski is done. And we'll continue like adjusting this local window just because I don't like it being super tall here. Got about 4 AU to this station, so let's go align, micro warp drive, turn our hardeners on, cut the micro warp drive, dock. There you go. And that's how you want to do it. Works a lot better when you're more of like when you're not like almost a 90-degree turn. But that's a 10-second warp on a Orca. Exciting. Let's go and do like kind of a sit rep on this system a little bit. Don't really have any suspects or criminals, but we got a Skiff, Gila, Porpoise, Vargar. So I'm seeing basically mission runners, a little bit of mining, an obelisk. Everything's good to go. I think we can do Skiff in this system. Do like a cycle in the Skiff. Be good to go. This will probably be the last system we'll do for this episode, just because we had a lot of exposition with the Orca and kind of talking about that new setup and everything. Go maintenance bay. Also, I haven't gotten to take the Skiff out yet since we got it. Session change is good. And this Skiff is actually going to be running crystals as well. So, and damage control and stuff like that. So 144 seconds on this. Fun tan. Alright, while we're undocking, I'm going to go ahead and bring this system up in my spreadsheet. Go to mining tab here. We got an asteroid belt pretty close by. Go to the closest one, get our hardeners turned on. Now my EHP on this ship is actually pretty decent. 109k. Which is one of the big benefits of actually getting this skiff kind of set up. Got Orca with augmented drones out here. Alright, let's see where we want to go. Got some Bellspar over here. Go and slap orbit on that. I don't think I've set orbit on this ship. 10,000. I think we'll go... I gotta see what my range is. 15. We could have gone 7, but we're gonna have to come in a little bit. It's the only other downside of actually like kind of moving and going through different systems. We don't really have bookmarks. You know, we could set up bookmarks, but not really too worried about it. I actually cleaned up my bookmark folder yesterday. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to approach this directly just so we can actually close this distance relatively quick. Jesus, it was only like 16 in space, but like this is also like a pretty populated system. Coming a little closer. That's probably gonna be the biggest downside. Like I think I'm just used to running the prospect anyway, just because it's faster from point A to point B. But this will have a higher yield as well. Go and look at D-scan. Still don't see anything crazy. Got about 1k to go, and we can turn everything on. Since we're not going to go to another system after this, we'll probably do maybe a couple of cycles here just to kind of make it worth our time. I'm going to be holding off on selling ore probably until the Orca gets pretty full, and when it gets full we're going to compress it, and like when the Orca gets really close to being full of compressed ore, you know, a decent amount, then we'll kind of offload it. It just kind of depends. I'm not really about the ISK right now, but the biggest benefit of actually having the Orca is we don't have to like stop and, you know, sell, and we can kind of just go system to system without too much downtime. But this gives me an excuse to actually use the Skiff, which is nice. Don't really get to use it too much. High EHP. And if anybody comes on this belt, they're going to be definitely after that Orca and the AUG drones over me. So let's go ahead and go orbit here, since we're already got lasers on. 31 people in this system. Crazy. There's actually a dead-end system near us here too. Actually, I might just complete this cycle because it's a little bit longer cycles, but I'm just really trying to get kind of further away from Jita in these new, with this new gear and everything. Got a home front operation. Actually got the mining one. I thought about actually starting to do the mining home fronts, but you need like 5 people to get the maximum payout, so you need like 4 ventures and like a Logi cruiser for that. But I'm really trying to like get back to like, you know, doing like solo account stuff. So it's not really lining up with my current goals. How's our orbit? Alright, we're not going to run into any rocks, so that's good. Yeah, I think we're just going to do this cycle and then load the van and call it there. That way we can just kind of progress a little bit further away from major trade hubs and be a little more chill. When we get further out and kind of the boonies, then we'll probably end up, you know, going back to like doing a single system per episode and doing a little bit more cycles and stuff like that. It's just I just really don't like overpopulated systems. There's a lot going on in DScan. There's a lot of stuff. It's really hard to see spikes in local and stuff like that. So go and cut that. And like that rock wasn't even going to give me another full cycle anyway. Go and dock there. Dock this and get the band loaded, and then continue moving on. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any suggestions, or if you have any questions or anything like that, let me know in the comments. But we're gonna try out the Orca, and it's just easy because we don't have to tear down ships and stuff like that. The benefit of the Porpoise is basically we can tear it down. We can go like rigless, and we can tear stuff down and pop it back up, and also our travel time is a lot quicker. But in my mind, we're only moving technically like a few jumps before we're actually like doing any mining. So being able to just drag the ship out and get it going is a lot better anyway. And also, as you saw, the micro warp drive trick on Gates is 10-second line time on an Orca is very decent. So I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.